Hello guys, Robert1 here, coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video, and in today's Yu-Gi-Oh video, we're going to be taking a look at the new, Utopia cards coming out in the structure deck, seeing as we have taken a look at the new 99 retrain, we've taken a look at some of the other stuff coming out in the structure deck, so I thought, hey, we've had a look at some of the other stuff, so we should have a look at the other stuff coming out in it, just so we can get an idea of what the new Utopia support is going to be doing. So, we're going to take a look at this, we're going to see how good it is, we're going to talk about it, and hopefully it's going to be pretty good stuff to make the deck even better, because currently we only know about the new 99, and I would like to see what the other stuff can do. So, let's go ahead and go into it, starting off with a new Xyz monster called ZS Utopic Sage. Okay, so it's Utopic Sage, new monster, new Xyz monster. I'm assuming this is going with the Zexal weapons and the other ZS monsters to, you know, like make them more consistent. Because right now, looking at the stuff, I'm not too impressed. So hopefully this will make those things a little more useful. So it is a rank 4 light warrior Xyz monster, 2000 attack, 2500 defense. I think that's the opposite stats of Utopia actually. 2 level 4 monsters, and you can only use the first effect once per turn. So first effect, once per turn you can use 2 Xyz material from this card, special 1 ZW monster or ZS monster from your deck. Also for the rest of this turn, you cannot special monster from the extra deck except Xyz monsters, nor attack except with number monsters. Okay, the restriction on it is fair, I would say. Like, the only thing that I personally think is a bit over the top is the fact that, well, you can only attack with number monsters. If it was you could just attack with Xyz monsters, then I think that'd be fine, because, well, this is not a number monster, so it doesn't really make sense for me to say this can't attack. But I get why they're doing it. It's a free summon for any Zexal weapon and or ZS monster, so literally just get the dragon, get the tiger from the deck to be able to attach to your Utopia to prevent it from being affected by spells, traps, or monster effects, stuff like that, and then go from there. Like, not bad, not bad. And also there are some Zexal monsters, ZS monsters that revolve around you like overlaying them into a Utopia monster, so the Utopia gets additional effects, so makes a lot of sense. So I get why they did it. I just think it would have been better if, you know, they made it so only Xyz monsters could attack, except for just number monsters. That's just my only little gripe with that there. But what's its second effect? Okay. So, second effect, if a Utopia / Utopic Xyz monster you control, whose original attribute is light, other than ZS Utopic Sage, would be destroyed by a battle card effect, you can banish this card from your hand or field instead. So, pretty much, if your Utopic or Utopia monster would die, banish this. So it's a little bit of protection on top, so I guess that is kind of why it probably is not a number monster that can attack. That would make kind of a bit of sense there, meaning, oh, okay, so you can't attack with it, but it does give you a bit of protection on top. I kind of wish they made it more of a you know, like Union monster, like a ZW monster, where it would just equip to the Utopia, so the Utopia could get an additional effect, maybe attack twice, maybe, I don't know, give it an additional 2,000 attack points, something like that. But looking at it, I'm not too upset with the card. Like, it's a free summon from deck. It's like what, an MX Saber Invoker, so it's just like, I can't really complain. It's just like, it could have been a bit better in my personal opinion. But continuing on, it looks like we've also got new trap cards. So the first one is Contract of Destiny. This is like the bit in the Zexal anime where Yuma opened the door and all the number monsters with Astra and that came into their world. So cool artwork there. But you can only use the second effect once per turn, and its first effect is, each time a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can place 1 Emperor's Key counter on this card. Maximum 1. Okay. Interesting. Second effect, if your opponent summons a monster from the extra deck, you can remove 1 Emperor's Key counter from this card. Send 1 the Door of Destiny from your hand, deck, or face-up field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon 1 Light Utopia or Utopic Xyz monster from your extra deck, and if you do, attach this card to it as an Xyz material. So, this is basically support for Door of Destiny that came out a long time ago. Like, Door of Destiny was that trap card that actually had the door with it closed on it. I can't remember exactly what it does, but interesting I would say. It's like, I'm not too impressed with it, but it could be used for something, I guess. Like, I personally wouldn't run it, but we'll have to see how people use it. And the last one is, well, last one, yeah, like there's only a few cards from the looks of it. And the last trap card is a counter trap as well, which is Numbers Protect. Okay, so it's a counter trap, and you can only use the first, sorry, you can only use one of the first and second effects of this card's name per turn, and only once that turn. So you can only use this card hard once per turn. You can't use both its effects, but you can only use one of the first and second effects once per turn. So you can't go like, oh, I want to use both effects. I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll have to see what it does to justify why it's like that. And it's a counter trap as well, so when Expel, Trap, or Monster effect is activated, and you can try number Xyz monster, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. So that's just a solemn judgment for any card. Like that's actually pretty good. Okay, but what I'd probably be using this effect. But what's the second effect do? So second effect is, if a number Xyz monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, and this card is in your graveyard, you can set this card to your field, but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, so they kill your number monster, you get to then go ahead and set this back to the board, and then you can just go ahead and make another number monster? That's actually pretty decent. So it's just a solemn judgment that you can reset itself if your number monster dies? That's not bad. Like, that's actually pretty decent. Like, it's a really good card just for the first effect in general. I don't know if it's searchable. I don't know if there's cards that can search number affiliated cards, but if this is searchable in some way and it can reset itself constantly, like that's not bad. Like I'm just thinking right now, like this plus Lancia or this plus Imperial Iron Wall, like just really bad things you would play like in 2015 or something to like prevent certain situations. It's actually kind of interesting. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like this card is actually really strong though, just for number decks in general. I might actually have to bring out my old number gadget deck again and see what we can do with it. Like, that's pretty cool. And then they've just got a ton of reprints. They've got the number 39 Utopia double, so that's OTK potential. Got Sisters in here, which is cool. You got the ZW Lightning Blade. Remember using this, and ZW Tornado Bringer. These were the two best ones back in the day. These were the ones you wanted to attach to your Utopia. Usher Strike. I can't remember what Usher Strike actually did. It's been a very long time. Kage to Kage is an old one as well. Got Academy Emergency Network. That's just a free summon from deck. There's the Door of Destiny. Halfway to Forever. These were like trap cards that were released in World Superstars, if I remember correctly. The original number 99, which is kind of cool to see that getting a reprint. Don't know why they've got Barry number 32 in here, but interesting. And number 62 as well. Interesting to see these reprints. But looking at these cards, I would say these are actually pretty good. Like the Xyz monster, I would say is the better one, just for the fact that it special summons any Zexal weapon from your deck to the field, so you can just get out your Lightning Blade or your Tornado Bringer, just so you can equip it to your Utopia monster very easily, which is really, really good. And the counter trap is just really good as well, being just like a free solemn judgment for anything. Like, there's no reason not to be playing this card because it just says negate monster spell or trap. That's really, really strong. Like, these cards are actually pretty good for numbers, and I can't wait to see. Like, Contract of Destiny, I'm not too fond of. I don't think the card is very good because it's a very situational card where you have to rely on your opponent's special summoning monster from the extra deck, and then you also have to have one counter on it where you have to destroy a card by battle or card effect to be able to use that effect. But I could see some play, I guess, if someone wanted to try it. But honestly, the new Zexal cards are actually looking really cool. I might actually have to try and build this because it actually does look kind of cool. And seeing as I used to play like a number deck back in the day where I was just like number gadgets or like with numeral wall, or was it no, not numeral, number wall and stuff like that, I'd love to see what I could do with it in today's meta. But guys, thanks so much for watching. Tell me your thoughts are on these cards in the comment section below. Do you think the new number counter trap is really, really strong? Do you think this new ZS Utopic Sage is going to make the Utopia ZS deck even better? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Robot1 signing out. Later all.